Thanks for coming on our quick podcast to talk about the top 5 tips to improve your website for AEP. Let me just introduce myself. My name's Ken French. I think it's important you understand that myself and my wife, we have a company called Snoozy that specifically works with independent insurance agents, helping them improve their website and their social media presence. The both of us grew up in the insurance business. My grandfather was in it, my father was in it. Back in the day, we used to have a company that was kind of like an FMO, a wholesaler, and we used to help agents sell employee benefits, Medicare, life, health insurance. Long story short, we ended up selling that company before healthcare reform back in 2009, and that's when we started Snoozy to keep helping agents with their websites and their social media presence. So, what I want to do today is go real quick through my top 5 tips on things you should do to improve your website for AEP. And the first one is to have an online calendar on your website. There's a lot of tools out there. Some of them are free. I don't know if you've checked out Calendly. Your CRM might have a calendar. But in my opinion, I think it makes sense to have something like Amanda Bruton has, where someone can come to your site if they want to talk with you tomorrow or if they want to talk with you next week. They can easily go through your schedule, see your availability. Obviously, pick a time, and then it'll automatically go into your calendar. Even better, the calendar will send them a reminder about the meeting. Obviously, AEP can be a very busy time. Things can fall through the cracks really quick. Having some sort of online calendar can really create more structure and organization for you booking appointments. Number 2, if you're doing educational events, especially this summer as kind of a warm-up for AEP, you really should have these things on your website. Just kind of a simple page on the site where it talks about what the event is, where it's located. You should have a button where people can register for it. Things like that make it a lot easier to promote the event, via social media. But the number one thing I've been getting from my clients in April and May and now June is I've had people saying, I'm doing events, I need this stuff on my site, I need to promote it. I'm a big believer that all this stuff is part of your big web presence. It's part of the big puzzle. So having those things on your website will help. Number 3, you really need to have testimonials on your website. I'm kind of a nerdy analytics guy, and over the last 15 years, when I study where do people go on the website, they go to the testimonial page. And, it makes sense that, someone's referred to you, they use their smartphone, they Google you, they do a little bit of homework on you, they want to make sure you're legit. What page would you go to? So I'm suggesting that, you have maybe 3 or 4 testimonials, maybe 5 would be good, on your website where people can get a better sense of what you've done, how you've helped people. And I think the best way to get it done is for you to think of maybe 4 or 5 different people who fit different scenarios. Maybe you got a T65, maybe you got a plan change, maybe you have somebody who you helped get a short-term medical plan before they turn 65. Whatever, just different testimonials that review what was the situation and how did you help them. And I think sometimes the easiest way to get it done is for you to write up the story and then email it to the client and say, hey, I'm really working on my website this year. Do you mind if I share your story? Is this okay? Do you want any changes to it? And that way you kind of guarantee you're going to get a good testimonial that people are going to look at. Number 4, you really should consider putting these online shopping links, these pearls on your website. Obviously these things have now been around pretty much 10 years. And, the consumer, they think differently now. Now, I'm not expecting people to come to your site, click on one of these portals, go in and buy a product without talking to you. I don't think that happens. But what I think does happen is the way the consumer shops now is they like to self-educate a little bit before they talk with somebody. Think about buying a car. You don't just go to the dealership with no knowledge and talk to the salesman. First, you go on to the auto dealership website. You take a look at how much the car is going to cost. Then you go to the dealership and you talk to somebody. So I think it's that same mindset you want to have on your website. Obviously, the carriers have some of these portals. A lot of the FMOs will now give you one. I know if you work with Amanda, she'll probably have you go into the Smart Enroll for the Medicare. Um, Whatever, these are great tools that can really help you during the busy time of AEP. And number five, keep your social media active. I see this day and day out where people will call me up and they'll say, you know what? I'm realizing that people have been Googling me and they've been finding my Facebook business page or my LinkedIn page. And gosh, I haven't done anything on those in like 2 years. And it's really embarrassing. And people think like I left the business. So, I can't stress enough that yes, I know it's very busy during the summer and especially in the fall, but this is the time these pages are going to get a tremendous amount of views. So if you have a Facebook business page, if you have, obviously a LinkedIn page, take your time and maybe, 2, 3 times a week, just post some educational content about the products you sell, so that if people do find you when they Google you, they're getting a very good first impression. And I think that's a big part of the challenge of being in this Medicare industry. A lot of agents now in it, it's oversaturated. A lot of agents who are not doing a good job. You don't want to be put into that kind of grouping of, is this a part-time person? Do they really know what they're talking about? You want to show that you're the expert, that you do this full time. So having these social media pages looking good, it's only going to help you get more phone calls. So hopefully these were helpful. If you do need some help this summer improving your website, your social media presence, you should check out bruton.snoozy.net. Me and Carrie we help Amanda with her website, and we certainly help any of her agents, and you're eligible for special pricing. So feel free to go to that site. You'll find my calendar on there. I would be happy to chat with you for 5 minutes, go through your situation, see if we're a fit for helping you. But other than that, good luck. Like I said, it's getting close to that time of the year. So you want to have that website, you want to have the social media presence, you want to have it, all set up perfect to get ready for the season. Have a good day and a good summer. Thanks again.